Hey, it's Caster. And while I was at DreamCon, I did an interview with a good friend of mine known as GOAW, aka the biggest One Piece rage baiter on the internet. We had a super long and super good conversation, so I thought, why not just drop the whole video with little to no editing? Aside from a single moment that is going to receive a play by play, but we'll get to that when we get to that. In the meantime, here's a great conversation. See you later. So it's Caster. We're out here with Big Geo,
What's good, my G?
the number one rage baiter, One Piece rage baiter in person. Geo, go ahead and start us off with some bait.
Some bait? Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead and make these niggas mad.
You want some actual like bullshit bait or some like legit bait that I believe in?
Whatever you're feeling.
All right. Okay. So I guess number
Don't
one.
Don't tell me what it is.
Number one, right? Biggest rage bait that I'm known for that I typically get like hate for. I would say is my take on Skypiea. Is Skypiea important to the One Piece narrative? Let's think about how many things happen in Skypiea that become relevant to the current story, or how many characters from Skypiea per se come back in the current story. So I'm gonna go down with just a couple who like where are they? For instance, where's Wiper? When the last time we seen Wiper? How many chapters has it been, Caster, since we've seen Wiper? The cover story. That don't count. Where's Enel, right? Where the hell is Enel?
Being goaded.
Enel had a cover story. Wiper came back in the cover story, but it's not the main plot, right?
I mean, Caribou came back in a cover story.
That's true, and then he came back in the series.
You might see an
But
back.
in Elback, yeah, exactly. In Wano he came back, Caribou. But like NL still hasn't come back, right? So I mean that's my take. If you want rage bait, that's my rage bait in regards to like Skypiea. Can you skip Skypiea and miss nothing? Can you skip Skypiea and do you feel like?
Are you asking me like legitimately asking me?
Yeah, like if
Can
you
you
skip
skip-
Skypiea, is there any content
I don't
that
think
you
there's
really miss
any
out on?
arc that you can skip and have full context of the story. There are context clues that you can pick up on, but like, okay, we can sit here and we can say Fishman Island is a dog shit arc, right? Because
Yeah, I agree.
high key it
The
is.
Fishman remaster made no motion. It did no moves.
But look at what Fishman Island did. Fishman Island, we hear about Joy Boy and Poseidon, I believe, right?
Uh-huh.
On the Poneglyph. We get an introduction, like a real introduction to Big Mom. And then we get Madame Charlie's prophecy, which niggas are still
We're still
theorizing
waiting to
about
see what that's
to this
about.
day.
What
Yeah.
that's about.
So it's like, even fucking Punk Hazard is like, really nothing too crazy happened on Punk Hazard. You get like a little bit of insight into Vegapunk, but then you get Caesar, who's a play for Doflamingo, but ultimately even more so a play for Kaido. Like Punk Hazard starts the Yonko saga.
True facts.
So it's like everything is a piece that interconnects. There's not really a skippable arc, but there's plenty of arcs that it's like you can get the
Okay.
clip notes on it.
So okay, here are my top 3 arcs that I feel like you can skip, and it's somewhat okay.
Continuation.
A continuation from when
Yeah,
I
I'll
was
let you
interrupted
cook.
yesterday.
I'll let you cook. I won't interrupt
Let me
you
cook.
like last
Let me
night.
cook. So number 1, I know you said your piece on Skypiea. I know I said your piece on Skypiea, but I gotta put Skypiea there. I still feel like
that's what you're known for,
I
right?
love what Oda did with Nika, where he allowed Kill Kuma to do like the dance that like resembles what they did in Skypiea around the bonfire. That's fire. But I mean, I've said this before on Twitter. I got a lot of heat for it, but I feel like Oda's trying his hardest to justify why you shouldn't skip Skypiea, because I think maybe the narrative has reached him a little bit. Maybe he's a little bit aware of it. So now he's trying his hardest to bring back little bitty things that we saw in Skypiea, make you feel like you gotta watch
Okay,
it.
that's crazy.
Right? But if you didn't see it, it wouldn't really matter.
Wait. Am I tripping? Skypiea is the first poneglyph that speaks about Joy Boy, correct?
That's true, because Odin, we know Odin writes it. We know Roger left his Roger had Odin write it for him. Yeah, I believe so. But even if you didn't see that, you still get the information from Wano.
I mean, yeah, because I distinctly remember in Fishman Island, Robin is like, Joy Boy, who were you? Nigga, I don't know. Fuck you asking me for? Like,
Yeah.
but
All right,
okay, so Skypiea.
Number 2, Long Wing Longland. Long Wing
Okay,
Longland.
that that actually might
Who
be
gives
the
a fuck about Foxy?
I do.
Foxy sucks.
that might actually be the only valid arc to skip. But the Davy back fight in concept is tough as fuck.
I hope the Davy back fight comes back. I saw a theory that people were saying that maybe whenever Luffy and Shanks have their little like interaction, they're gonna have a Davy back fight between their crews.
That would be
So
fire.
that would be fucking heat. That would make Long Wing Longland more valid.
Yeah.
But that hasn't happened yet. So within that current context, can you skip Long Wing Longland?
Fuck yeah.
You can skip it.
I
You
stand
can
with
skip it.
you on that.
Hell yeah. Okay. And my third arc, I feel like you can skip. This might be a bit of a reach, but you gotta hear me out on this one. Thriller Bark.
I knew you were gonna say that bullshit. I knew you were gonna say that bullshit. So
Thriller Bark.
I've said it only about 1 million fucking times.
What
But
is the- let me ask you a
Thriller
question.
Bark is probably my favorite arc in the entire series.
Oh, shit.
At minimum,
Oh, I didn't
at
see
minimum
that.
pre-time
Oh,
skip.
That's fire. That's fire.
At minimum pre-time skip.
Okay.
I think Thriller arc is the most interesting. You get Nightmare Luffy, you get fucking Homeboy, I cannot remember Ryuma.
Yo, you can't even
You get-
remember characters from Thriller Bark.
Yeah, because I'm not a Zoro fan, bro. Nah, you get
Oh,
okay.
no,
You
no,
get Nightmare
Zoro's
Luffy. You
greatest
get
moment happens
Ryuma.
in that arc, though.
You get
That-
the nothing happened
Yeah,
moment.
that is the
You get
only reason that I would
introduction
say
to
you
Kuma.
should-
You get Perona. You get information on ores. You like, bro. There's so much shit that happens in Thriller Bark. Fucking even highest of keys. Thriller Bark is our first introduction to a Yonko because fucking Chiffon, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Her daughter.
Is it
her
Chiffon
daughter. Yeah, her
or
daughter.
fucking what's the other? No, Lola.
Lola. Yeah, her
Lola-
twin. They're twins.
Lola is there talking about her mom, and then fucking 600 chapters later, we find out who her fucking mom actually is. That shit was so crazy. You get, like I said, the introduction to Kuma. You get how even like I wish they would have alluded to it in the arc, but like the fact that Moria is pretty much stuck on, not like stuck on Thriller Bark, but is unwilling to leave Thriller Bark because he got fucking decimated by Kaido.
By Kaido.
Like,
Yeah, I love that aspect of it all. I love it all.
there is so much shit that happens in Thriller Bark. I'm sorry, bro. I can't
You don't
co-sign
co-sign
that.
it? You don't okay,
I
but you
can't
co-sign Long
that.
Wing Longland. I got, what is it, 1 out of 2?
100%.
1 out of 2. Caster co-signs Long Wing Longland.
Skypiea is goated. I love
goated.
it. I think Anella's one of the best villains. I don't think you should skip it. But if you were gonna skip 2 arcs,
And it had to be, if you were gonna, oh, that's a great
I would
question.
still say Fishman Island is
That's
more
a
skippable.
great question to ask people, by the way.
I would still say Fishman Island is more skippable than
Hold up.
Skypiea.
We should ask people who are watching this video, right? If you could skip One Piece arc, what
Not
would it be?
including Long Ring Longland.
Not including
That
That's too
shit
easy.
was-
It's too easy. Not including
Yeah.
Long Wing Longland. But if you could skip if you could skip One Piece arc, what would it be?
I tell you
I
another
feel like
one.
a lot of people are gonna say Skypiea. No bullshit.
I tell you another one.
Skypiea is gonna be up. Skypiea is gonna be top 3 most skipped.
For me, it's most definitely
He doesn't agree with me.
Fishman Island. Amazon Lily is
I don't
a
say
close second.
I don't say Fishman.
I think
because he has-
Amazon Lily genuinely is like the most nothing burger
Is that
ass
an arc? You consider that an
It's
arc?
like a mini arc,
If
but
that-
it's
if
like
we're considering that an
nigga,
arc, then I will replace Thriller Bark with that one.
More shit happened in Zoe than Amazon Lily.
That's true.
Like
Yeah, Zoe is
Amazon
fucking deep.
Lily was just a glazed boa arc, like mini arc, bro.
Yeah, literally.
I'm not gonna lie, Boa is like my least favorite female in One Piece.
Holy. Big Mom right there.
Cole, Big Mom is
You
fire.
fuck with Big Mom?
Face.
Bro,
Okay, that's
Big
fair.
Mom,
And if I had to pick between Big Mom and Boa, I'm picking Big,
Big
Mom.
Mom,
every time.
out of the OG 4 Yonko, Big Mom was top 1 for me, bro. Big Mom is built
Big Mom
different,
gets.
nigga.
Big Mom is very underrated. She gets way too
She
much
gets
hate.
way overhated, way
Yeah,
overhated.
way the fuck overhated,
But,
man.
okay, we're running long.
and I don't mind it. But we do have to chop some parts up. So, we're at an anime convention. What are your top 3 anime or manga?
My top 3. Okay, so I haven't watched a lot of anime. People know. I've only watched a few anime. I want to watch. So One Piece was like the first big series that I got into. I mean, of course, everyone's watched Dragon Ball. You know, Dragon Ball is like my first main series, but that's because of the games. The Dragon Ball games dragged me in more so than the anime. So I'll give the Dragon Ball games more credit for me being a fan of that series and the anime. But if we're talking pure anime, honestly, the first major anime series that I got into was Fairy Tail. A lot of people don't know this, but back in the day, I know Fairy Tail gets a lot of hate now. Like, you know, just generally
Fairy
speaking.
Tail also very overhated, bro.
Very overhated.
Very
Specifically
overhated.
on Twitter. I don't know why. People fucking hate Fairy Tail, but back when
Niggas
I was
act like
catching
Fairy
up,
Tail wasn't cast, bro. Like,
Yeah.
shoo-be-doo-bop. Bro, Gajeel, my nigga. Oh my God, what a clean ass nigga, bro. What a clean ass nigga, bro. Gajeel, Sting.
Gajeel, hell yeah.
Bro, Sting.
It's like Gajeel is like the way Gajeel was introduced as a villain at first, then he
Oh.
became an ally.
Oh.
And he kind of had that kind of like
Oh.
that like Vegeta aspect of his character.
Yes.
Where he's still kind of edgy, but he balances it out.
He's a
With his,
Lancer.
Like, he's an
But
anti-hero. It's
I
done
would
very
say
well.
Gajeel's not so much a Lancer as Vegeta is. That would be great.
Oh, so
but
they're
even
called
Gray
Lancers.
is like, huh?
Do you this is a bit of a derail, but do you consider Kid a Lancer? Yeah. See, I feel like that was Oda's attempt.
Lancer
at
is
making
like,
him- it's like a hero who's kind of like an anti-hero, like kind of balancing. the
Lancer
line.
is like somebody who essentially is in alliance with the main character, but like pushes the boundary.
Yeah.
He's not an enemy, but he's not like your bestie either. He's like, that's your rival.
Right, real shit, facts. So I guess a lot of One Piece characters could be considered that. Or like what? Law. I guess most of the
Law?
Supernova.
Nah.
You don't think Law like kind of like, you know?
I have a hot take on Law, actually. I think Law is just an aura merchant. That nigga only exists to push the
He's
plot
cool as
forward.
fuck, though.
That nigga only exists to push
He's cool as fuck.
outside of, oh, hey, we gotta go get the Yonko. What the fuck does that nigga actually do for the story? He just exists to push the plot forward, bro. And just be clean. I'm not mad at it, but like, that's why the nigga got the most overpowered fruit and the worst fucking crew of all time. 'Cause
Holy
that
shit.
nigga shit
Yo,
just
Law-
exists to push the plot forward.
In Law's
He
defense-
conveniently at fucking Marineford to save Luffy. Then he's conveniently at Punk Hazard to be
Yeah.
like, yeah, see, Caesar, that nigga, hey, let's go take down Kaido and Luffy, nigga. And then once that happens, he's like, all right, I'm out. Like,
In Law's defense, he is one of the only characters aside from Luffy that we've seen recruit somebody on screen with John Bart, Sab Odie. I feel like that's pretty badass.
I mean, yeah, but what the fuck did John Bart do for him, nigga?
John Bart was beating up. John Bart was going crazy for against Blackbeard.
Where's John Bart right now, nigga?
I hope he's not dead. I hope he's not dead. But John Bart
Oh, God.
he was going in on Blackbeard with the rest of them.
Actually, I don't know. Yeah, nah. Yeah, Kid's crew is still better than Lul's. At least that nigga had
I know
Killer.
somebody who would agree with you on that.
At least that nigga had Killer.
Oh,
I
God.
love
Killer,
Beppo,
Killer
but
was
like,
sliding for anything, bro. Killer
I'm
was,
saying,
Killer or D1.
at least-
D1,
at least Killer was like worth something. Beppo is cool, but like, that nigga ain't doing shit, bro. That nigga is a taxi. Let's be serious. Huh?
okay.
Not even Sulong.
Too long
I
to
give
go
you my-
taxi.
so
that
I give
nigga's
you
not
my-
doing nothing, bro.
Let me give you my second anime. Bring it back to the main point, the main discussion. So number 2 for me would be AOT. In terms
Okay.
of like what I like anime that I love, anime series that I
I was
love.
just talking to a homie about AOT. Now that I have some distance from it, I recognize its greatness. It is a masterpiece, but that ending is ass. I'm a Jaegerist. Niggas
Yo,
should have seen
Adolf
it
Jaeger, man.
through. Niggas should have seen it through, bro.
Adolf Jaeger.
That
He crashed the fuck out. He crashed
crazy.
out.
But he didn't, because he was pussy. And he was like, nah, I just did this to simp. Like, fuck is wrong with you, bro?
And then he was crying and shit at the end. I'm like,
I'm
oh,
saying,
my goodness.
I'm not even mad
But
about you crying. But it's like, nigga, just see it through. Like, what is you doing, bro?
I think like about it so much. I think Oda might do this too, but I like how Isayama tried his best to make it to where like toward the end of the series, it's a very moral gray area in who is the villain, who is the hero. Whereas like you want to root for like it's like you got to pick sides. Like there are people who hate Gabby, there are people who understand Gabby, maybe there are people who hate Aaron. People
I hate
who
Gabby.
fight for like the Jaegerists. Like there's just like different perspectives, and like I love how because it kind of like it's like some like One Piece type shit where it balances a moral gray area that's so like it's so well done. You know, there's never like it's kind of like Death Note too, where it's like you know Kira kind of or not Kira, Kira
Light.
at the Light.
I
at the
mean, but
beginning,
Light's
he
a
was-
bitch.
Oh, okay.
Nah.
But I mean, at the
My
beginning,
fault, my fault.
beginning, he was, he was taking out like,
Yeah.
criminals and like,
But
like
Light-
pedophiles,
Light
and sex
is-
traffickers. Then he kind of crashed out, started doing too much. But it's like at the beginning, he had like he had a great like perspective, but then with that power, it became too much.
Well, Light is a perfect showcase for corruption and ego. But I think, and this might sound harsh, but like, Eren Yeager was not a hero. It's not really, I mean, like, yes,
From
it's
his
morally
perspective,
gray, but when we cut it down to the science, Eren was the villain. He understood that he was the villain. But history is written by the victors, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Real shit. Real
So
shit. And
if he would have seen it through, who can say you're the villain when all that's left is your niggas, bro?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That's why I'm like-
That's basically what happened in One Piece with the world government. You know,
Bro,
like,
fumble.
They defeated, the ancient kingdom. And speaking of One Piece, that's my number 3. Of course, the greatest of all time, the GOAT.
Okay.
I put One Piece up there with Lord of the Rings, with Harry Potter. Like for me, it's an odyssey. You know,
Yeah,
like it
I
goes.
think it's one of the greatest stories ever told.
Yeah, it is by far. I don't care what nobody says, bro. Greatest manga, greatest anime, bar none. I mean, like I understand it. I mean, of course for
JoJo's is a
shonen.
close second.
I'll
Maybe
be honest.
first.
I'll be honest. This coming from somebody that hasn't read much outside of One Piece, but as far as I'm concerned, I haven't read everything. So to say,
Pick up JoJo's, bro, to change your life. Once you get to
I
part
heard
4,
that. What is it? Steel Ball Run.
once you get to part 4, you're gonna be like, oh, 1, 2, and 3 were good. Everything after this is absolute gas.
I tried
Like,
watching JoJo. I got to part 2, but that whole Pillar Man shit with the whatever the fuck that shit was with the statues.
I
was
like
bro, I
part
can't.
2 a lot. Part 3 is my least favorite just because it's slow. Like, niggas want to talk about One Piece pacing. Nigga, part 3 of JoJo's.
Yeah.
God damn, can we
Oh,
wrap
God,
this
holy
shit up?
cook.
Okay,
So yeah, that's my top 3, man.
top 3,
Fairy Tail.
Fairy Tail, AOT,
One Piece.
One Piece. So, I'm going to ask you like 2, 3 more questions. Who are your top 3 anime characters? It could be any. It could be main characters, side characters.
I'm gonna be basic as fuck, and I'm gonna say Luffy, Law, Zoro. Those are my goats. It's a bit of a tie between Law and Sanji. I like Sanji a lot too.
That's disgusting
But-
levels of glaze. Like 3 One Piece niggas?
Gotta
Come
be.
on, bro. Let's
okay,
be
you know
fair.
what? I might let Caster influence me to maybe not too much One Piece. If I had to pick a character from each series that I named, for Fairy Tail, I would say Gray. I like Gray a lot. For One Piece, I'm gonna go ahead and keep Zoro because I'm Zoro. And then for AOT, I'm gonna pick Levi, bro.
Levi.
Levi is fucking fire, man. I love Levi. Levi reminds me so much of Zoro. He's the super.
I mean,
he's
yeah.
the same kind of character. Yeah, they're
Valid.
They're deep.
Valid.
They're
I'm not
D1
gonna lie.
oil farmers.
My
D1
favorite
oil
character.
farmers.
My favorite character might actually be Falco, bro. That nigga was golded.
Oh, is that the motherfucker that was writing for Aaron?
Nah, Falco, the kid who turns into the bird titan.
Oh, that shit was badass, bro.
Bro.
Whenever he grew the wings, I was like, yo.
Falco's entire arc is just perfect. Like,
Yeah, because
way,
it's like his
way to write a
DNA
banger character.
His DNA merged with the Beast Titan.
Yeah.
So he was doing shit with the Jaw Titan that you've never seen like done before.
Yeah.
Like that, I feel like that, like whenever Isayama did that, I feel like he just unlocked like a whole new like potential with the Titans. And right after he just ended the season, like bro, he just opened
I do
a
feel
whole
like
new
he
can of
rushed
worms
out the
that he
end,
could've-
but
yeah, that was a
I
whole
don't
new
know.
can of worms. I'm like, yo, this good. Like imagine combining like other Titans. Like that's a whole thing that was just never really explored.
But you know what's crazy? It's like my top 3 anime are like JoJo's, One Piece, and then
Are you saying
It's-
them in order from best to worst?
yeah, And then it's a
hell,
toss
I hope
up.
it's not top one,
It's
bro.
a toss up. It's a toss up between Full Metal and Yu Yu Hakusho. But none of those like the only. I don't even know if Ed is in my top 3. Yeah, Ed is the only character from those shows
Edward Elric.
that makes it into my top 3
Yeah,
characters.
FMA is fire, bro. I fuck with
My
FMA.
number one, top 1 character of all time is Viral from Gurren Lagann. That's
I've
the
never watched-
absolute GOAT.
I've never watched.
That's the
Gurren Lagann.
absolute
That's
GOAT.
one of my- remember I
It's
said I'm gonna
Viral.
watch it. I'm gonna watch it. Yeah.
It's Viral.
I know that the characters get OP as fuck at toward the end, right? I always hear about that.
Yes. It's Viral. It's Edward Elric, and then Aladdin from Magi.
Okay. I never watched Magi yet. That's not what I always hear about.
Amazing.
It's
I
so
always hear
good.
about
It like
Magi.
inspired my story with my writing, but it's like
It's so good. Magi is peak. Okay. So we're at an anime and video game convention. I know you'd be on Rivals. So what are your top 3? And E33, I still need to finish.
Bro,
I'm on the final boss. Nigga, that phase 2, I hit that shit once. I said, oh, this nigga just killed my whole team
Bro,
with one turn.
that's the thing about turn-based games, man. Once you get to the end, the difficulty fights go crazy. It's like, bro, we taking turns hitting each other, man. You can't be doing the whole damage.
I'm not gonna lie, I might need to just go farm. That's what
Yeah,
I did
I'm not-
with
I'm
Persona.
gonna be- this I'm
Persona
saying what
5,
do.
I just went and farmed to level 99, and then
This
I
is-
was like, now I'll finish the game.
You're not gonna like my advice. Put the difficulty down.
I'm playing on the hardest. I played through the whole game.
What? I better motherfucker on story mode. Have fun with that bitch. Why
The
dodge that
challenge
shit
is
so quick?
what's fun for me, bro. That's what makes
that's
it
crazy.
fun.
I can't. I be barely dodging. That shit get me so mad. I was like, I can't. I dropped it. I dropped it after like the fucking what is it? The lamp bearer. The first motherfucker you
Oh
fight
yeah,
with
the lamp bearer.
He was doing
Nah,
this, bro. I be trying to parry
The
him.
lamp bearer-
He coming in like this. He doing all that shit. Yeah,
He
I
made
was
me
like, bro, you
realize
can't be
that
doing
like
that, man.
parry only. I don't even dodge anymore, bro.
I was trying to parry, but the parry window is even more like limited than the dodge window.
Yeah.
So like I can't. It
You
pissed
just
me
gotta,
off.
but once you get that tempo, cause like I'll fight something for the first time and I'll have no idea what its moveset is, and I'll parry, and I'm like, yeah.
That's but when you
but
get them
then-
hoes off, that's fire.
But then when you get to big bosses, like the
Yeah,
last
I mean,
boss,
yeah.
you're like, nigga, what do I even do? It's just like boom, 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 and you're like, bro, what is happening?
I haven't even
like,
seen the last boss, bro. I'm like, I'm good.
I'm not even-
I'm like, I hope it wins Game of the Year because I've heard so many good things about it. But I'm not trying to get mad.
I'm not gonna hold you. Last boss, phase 1, it's like this is crazy.
Remember earlier when I said we were going to do a play-by-play? Let's get into it. I'm putting this in my DreamCon video. I don't know whose bright idea it was to put 4 bars in the convention center, but that was a terrible idea. And now you're going to have to watch me diffuse a potential nigga moment with some drunk asshole. So let's break it down. So, at this moment, you can see there's a glare behind my eyes. And I'm thinking, and I want to tell this nigga, fuck off. But he keeps going, right? He keeps talking.
Cause that's who I am.
So I say, that's who I am. Rather than say, fuck off, nigga, eat a dick.
No, you didn't.
Then he says, there was a lot of anger in that. I felt that punch. And in my head, I'm thinking, you didn't. But if you step over here, you will.
That guy's drunk.
No,
as
you
fuck,
didn't.
Man.
But at the corner of my eye,
What? No,
I see Gio. I see Lady Midnight. And I'm like, damn. It would be really crazy if I pack this nigga up right here and now, and then something happens to them, or they get kicked out with me. That would suck. So what do I say? I say, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
didn't. What you saying, nigga?
Then he gets in my face.
No,
right?
you didn't.
What did you say, nigga?
Then what?
Nigga, you heard what I fucking said. Nigga. You heard what I said. Nigga, what you wanna do about it? Fuck is up with you, nigga? But obviously I can't do that, right? I can't do that. But you can see I'm standing up, I'm looking. My body language, everything is screaming, get the fuck away from me, bro. Because I don't know you, and I don't play this shit. But like I said, I see Gio in the corner of my eye, and I'm like, let's diffuse it.
That punch?
You didn't feel that punch?
Yeah.
For real? For real?
What
Nah.
Like, you were.
What
Yeah,
did
you know that when Luffy was like.
Yeah, I was
There
over
it is.
here.
There it is. There
and
it
then
is.
you were like,
Well, One Piece fan, bro.
So he hits the One Piece. He hits the gear second pose. He hits the gear second pose. So I say, oh, this nigga's tapped into One Piece.
Piece
Nah,
fan, come on.
you
One
didn't-
Piece is a
you
fucking
You didn't
goat.
feel that punch. What you felt
You felt
was my Conqueror's hockey.
nigga.
Don't make me
Damn.
turn it on.
I'm
Don't
gonna
make
play
me
it up,
turn it on.
right? Rather than amping
make
up
me
just
turn it on.
everything in me is screaming.
Why
to
you
amp
have
it
it
up.
on, nigga?
No.
That's what brought me over
Nah.
here.
That's just
Hey,
or
yo,
I didn't even
since
turn it
you're
on.
off.
Don't make me turn it on, nigga. Don't make me turn it on, nigga. Cause then you gonna feel it. I got aura. You
I'm
not
like,
to
I'm
like
like
me.
Shanks. You know what I'm saying? Don't make me.
Ah, nigga.
Nigga, Six lost the arm for Luffy. I don't hear that every day. Six did that on purpose.
Now he's
So-
trying to bitch me. You see, he hits me in the fucking chest. He does that little slap. He's trying to bitch me.
Hey,
Don't talk about Shanks.
I ain't got nothing to
Fuck
say
you,
about
nigga.
Shanks,
Little
bro.
did you know.
You don't
I'm
want to
a
hear my
Shanks
thoughts
head.
on Shanks.
Shanks is a fucking rat.
You don't want to
I
hear
don't
my
wanna hear
thoughts
it.
on
Slide
Shanks.
for
I
that
want to
nigga.
hear it.
Be a
Shanks,
rat
that's
with
daddy.
What
Shanks.
you wanna do, nigga?
Certified bum.
Certified fucking bum, nigga. Now get the fuck up out of here, nigga.
Oh!
Get the fuck up
Girl,
out of
why do
here.
you want this slam to happen? What the
Hey,
fuck?
I'm not with the red hair pirates.
Sanji,
We're not with the red hair
I hate
pirates.
how you keep your face for me real quick. But besides the point, why you want this slam to happen?
Fuck up out of
Like,
here.
What you
what did he
mean?
do to you? What did
Shanks?
Shanks do to you?
Shanks? Be a fraud.
Be a
Be a
fraud.
rat.
Be a
Have a
bum.
bum ass crew.
Be a rat.
Slide on
Be a
slide
rat.
on kid. Hang
Fuck
on.
that nigga
Here's
shit.
what's like really blows me about Shanks,
And
right?
fuck you
This
too,
nigga
nigga.
pulled up on Green Bull and said, these young seeds, you gotta let them bloom. And then literally not even next art. We didn't even get to the next art, right?
He's a hypocrite,
And the nigga sliding on kid. Not even just like sliding. Like one taps him and drops his whole crew under the ocean. For what?
He's a
For
fraud.
what?
He's
'Cause
a
he saw the
scammer. He's a
future?
hypocrite.
Nigga,
He's a liar.
hang on.
He's a
Nigga,
rat.
Nigga, you could change
They
it.
came
Like
through
what you
with the-
like? What kind of hypocritical bullshit is that? Oh, I'm gonna let these young niggas. I want to see these young niggas bloom. Actually, nigga, fuck you. Like what? Like, are we serious? That nigga is still a rat in my eyes. I don't give a fuck
Rat
if it
forever.
Was, if it
Whole
was
rat ass family.
fraud rock or whatever.
Whole
You know what
rat-ass
I mean?
family.
Like that nigga.
Rat
That
rock.
nigga Shanks is still a
Rattling.
fraud, bro.
Ranks.
Fully.
Rat ranks.
Fully.
That-
Whole fraud ass family, nigga.
Now get the
You lost
fuck
the
out
fan,
of here,
Castor. You
nigga.
lost the
Hey,
fan.
my
Fuck
fault,
that
OG.
nigga. Anyway, you can see I'm still a little bit irritated about it. Shit was corny. Let that be a lesson to you. If you drunk, if you at the convention, and you see people out here, first of all, I hate when niggas interrupt my interviews as is, right? But I play it off because it happens. It is what it is, right? If you walk by, no big deal. You don't have any social awareness, but that's okay, right? You have no perception score, but that's okay. We can live with that. It's not a big deal. Why go out of your way to come interrupt me, nigga? To come interrupt me to talk your shit. Nigga, you wasn't invited. I don't know you like that, little bro. I don't want to talk to you. And now you making me have to? Nah, I double don't like you. Get the fuck out of here. So let that be a lesson to y'all. Don't come interrupt niggas' interviews, man. Y'all be easy.
That motherfucker drunk as hell, boy.
Bruh. Okay. But top 3 video games.
For me, top 3? Okay, no mobile games. No mobile games. No mobile games. First
Nah.
and foremost. Top 3 games, okay. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
Gotta say the GOAT, bro. Red Dead Redemption 2. Skyrim. That was like, man, that was a big part of my childhood, man. Like I played Skyrim whenever it first came out. Every now and then to this day, I still play Skyrim. And then number 3, I'm gonna say this kind of a big pull, but anyone who's cultured, they know what this is. Fable 2.
Fable?
Fable
Okay.
2 came out on the original
Okay.
Xbox 360 back in like 2008, I want to say. And that game
Yeah.
has so many things that like so many games to this day still don't even it doesn't need that they don't even do.
No,
You
I
know?
feel you. See, you said a big throwback. I'm thinking like, oh, this nigga finna say Beautiful Joe or something.
I played Beautiful. I got a funny story about Beautiful Joe. Funny story about Beautiful Joe. So whenever I first played that game, must be like back in like what 2005, I want to say. I got the flu really bad, and I associate me being sick with that game. So that game makes me sick, even though it's not bad. It's just like I associate it with that
Right.
moment in my life. So I was like, I feel horrible back then. That was my first time playing that game. When I see it, I feel sick.
I'm crying. No, it's probably Kingdom Hearts 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring, Kingdom Hearts 2,
Okay.
then The Last of Us 2. And I'll die on that. I slide for The Last of Us every time.
That's valid, bro.
But okay, last question, Brother Gio.
Uh-huh.
For the people watching at home, what are some words of wisdom, inspiration? What's on your heart right now? What you got to say, young
Where's
king?
the wisdom, inspiration? Okay. Not to sound too corny, but you know, like last year, I was in like the worst space possible mentally. I was really depressed. But this year, it's completely different. I feel amazing. I feel great. You know, I met a girl who I love so much, and I'm lucky to have her. And I value her so much. So if you're in a situation where you feel like, you know, there is no way out, or there is no hope, or you know, everything just seems so dark and so gloomy, just keep a level head because the future can always be different. You know, so you can be in one place that's horrible, and then the next however many months or year, you can be in a completely opposite space. So just, you know, keep a level head, and things can get better. Things
I love
can be
that.
great, bro.
I love that. That's some beautiful, good shit. I needed to
real,
hear
bro.
that.
So that's as real as I can get. Somebody who's been through that, bro. You know,
No, it's real. Hey, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
there's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
And for me, that's knowing that I got to see Zoro and Sanji kiss in person. Peace.